My wife embraced my assistant's son at our product launch, so I divorced her. After 2 years overseas, I returned for our company's product launch. The moment I stepped on stage, a young boy threw dirty water all over me. Get off the stage. My dad developed this product. Mommy, this bad man is trying to steal Daddy's credit. Did Tyler do good? I was about to ask whose brat this was and have them removed. Then I saw my wife pick up the boy with a doting expression. Tyler is so brave. That's exactly how we deal with thieves. Then my wife turned to me. During the 2 years you were gone, Derek handled all the company business. The credit should belong to him. I laughed and announced my resignation on the spot. Let's see how they develop products without my family's investment firm. The company survived these 2 years thanks to Mr. Derek. This guy was living it up abroad. Now that the product's ready to launch, he comes back to steal the glory? Shameless. Tyler did great. That's what people like him deserve. Disgusting. I looked up at Rebecca, waiting. Waiting for her gaze, even a hint of hesitation, some explanation. But Rebecca pretended not to hear those vicious words, holding the boy, gently adjusting his collar. Didn't she always dislike children? In our 5 years of marriage, every time I mentioned having kids, she'd frown, saying work was more important, that children were too noisy and troublesome. I respected her and never pushed. I thought she really didn't want them, even prepared myself for a child-free life. But now, she held someone else's child so naturally and skillfully. 2 years. 2 whole years. To secure overseas channels and key partnerships, I drank until I had stomach bleeding and was hospitalized 3 times. To beat our competitors, I flew to over 20 countries. Working on planes became routine. Once, I worked 30 hours straight on flights. When I landed, my vision went black. My assistant had to carry me to get in 4. Tyler looked up with his baby voice, speaking sweetly to Rebecca. Mommy, why won't the bad man leave? He stinks. He pointed disgustedly at my soaked suit. Rebecca's smile deepened. She pulled out tissues, gently wiping a water droplet from Tyler's face, then kissed his soft cheek loudly. Baby, ignore him. Let's watch Daddy speak. Then she carried the child, naturally moving closer to Derek as he walked on stage. Derek smoothly put his arm around Rebecca's shoulder, his other hand affectionately patting Tyler's head. Everyone. Please calm down and let me say a few words. He sighed softly. Getting this project to where it is today required everyone's blood, sweat, and tears. Seeing our results questioned, it's natural to feel emotional. Mr. Harrison was once part of our company. Though he's been abroad these 2 years and might not fully understand the project's progress and everyone's efforts. I understand his feelings. After all, he was initially involved in this project. Tyler is young and doesn't understand. I hope Mr. Harrison won't take it personally. Finally, I want to thank Rebecca for trusting me and walking this path with me. Thank you all. The family of 3 stood intimately before everyone. Derek seemed to be defending me, but every word implied I was stealing credit. The room instantly filled with admiration and envy. Mr. Derek is truly winning at life, successful career and family. Rebecca and Derek are perfect together, and their son is so smart and adorable. Now that's what you call a family, through thick and thin together. Someone shouted, get that thief out of here. Don't dirty our launch event. The phrase sparked agreement, everyone demanding I be thrown out. Amid the chorus of get out, I looked at Rebecca one last time. She leaned against Derek without even glancing at me. My heart turned completely cold, anger subsiding. I submitted my resignation directly through the company app. I didn't want to stay at this company anymore. Watching these employees who once flattered me now turn their backs, I found it laughable. People's hearts, indeed. I drove home, wanting to be alone. On the living room wall, my wedding photo with Rebecca was gone. Instead hung a huge family portrait. Derek holding Tyler, Rebecca leaning on his shoulder, all 3 smiling blindingly. Opening the master bedroom door, my things were gone. Derek's clothes hung in the closet, children's books, and Rebecca's skincare products covered the desk. On the nightstand, our wedding photo was replaced with one of Rebecca and Tyler. All my clothes and photos had been thrown into the storage room. So while I was desperately making money, my home had already become someone else's. I smoked cigarette after cigarette on the couch until the ashtray overflowed. Rebecca finally came home. I checked the time, 2 a.m. You're back? Her voice softened. The launch ran late. Have you eaten? I'll make you something. I ignored her, looking at her coldly. She avoided my gaze, glancing at the family portrait in the living room, then at the wedding photos I'd pulled from storage, looking embarrassed. She approached to take my hand. I shook her off. Honey. I know you're upset today. Rebecca lowered her stance. Tyler's young, he doesn't understand. Don't blame him. Derek, he's had it tough too. Tough? Was I having it easy? He's been raising Tyler alone while managing the company. Derek's recently applying for an important international design certification. I thought I'd help where I could. And Tyler, that child is really lovable. I made him my godson. It's not what you think. She paused, watching my expression, speaking gently. I know you're angry. Everyone said harsh things today. Derek didn't phrase things well, but he really didn't mean to steal your credit. She tried to approach again, her voice even softer, like coaxing a child. Honey, don't be mad. After Derek gets his certification and this launch blows over, I'll find a chance to explain to everyone. Watching her lowered stance, listening to her gentle explanations, I had to admit I softened. But thinking of the family of 3 on the wall, of how my presence in this home had been completely erased, I suppressed that feeling immediately. Explain? My voice was hoarse. Explain what? Explain how I became an outsider in my own home? Rebecca's face went white. She opened her mouth to argue. It's not what you think. Enough. I cut her off sharply. Just then, Rebecca suddenly gasped in pain. She clutched her stomach, bending over, color draining from her face, brows knitted in agony. Blood stained the couch. It hurts. Fine sweat beaded on her forehead, her body trembling slightly. It didn't look fake. My heart clenched. All my hardness and anger vanished before her sudden pain. My stomach hurt so much. She leaned against me weakly, voice breaking with tears. Maybe it's my period. Angry yet anxious, I half carried her out. Can you walk? I'll take you to the hospital. She nodded weakly, practically hanging on. Me. I floored it the whole way. Glancing at her, she was curled in the seat with closed eyes, hands pressed to her stomach, blood flowing continuously. My heart twisted. At the hospital, since it was gynecology, men weren't allowed. I could only wait outside. An hour later, my wife emerged, seeming somewhat better. I got her hot water. Rest well. Tell me if you feel uncomfortable. She nodded gently, taking the cup with evasive eyes. Just then, her phone rang. She glanced at the screen, her expression changing. Honey, there's an urgent company matter that needs immediate attention. I frowned. What company emergency at 3 a.m.? But seeing her state, I finally sighed. I'll drive you. After dropping her at the company building and watching her hurry inside, I drove home. Parking at home, I sat in the car, exhaustedly rubbing my temples. Out of the corner of my eye, I spotted a medical report under the passenger seat. I frowned. It listed bleeding as the condition. When I saw the cause listed as condom left inside, I felt struck by lightning, my mind going completely blank. Sitting in the car, the air seemed to freeze, oppressively suffocating. I'd been gone 2 years. Whose condom was it? I couldn't understand how my once loving wife had become like this. I drove back to the company. The top floor CEO. Office lights were on. I could vaguely see 2 figures inside, but the privacy glass made it unclear. Fortunately, my elevator fingerprint still worked. I went straight up. Before reaching the CEO's office, I heard intermittent intimate sounds. Through the office glass, I saw Rebecca half lying on the large desk, Derek pressed over her, both disheveled. Rebecca's coquettish voice mixed with Derek's heavy breathing echoed in the office. Derek, be gentle, it hurts. Rebecca's voice. Tyler's waiting at home, Let him wait. Derek's breathing was rough. That brat's asleep already. You should worry about Ethan Harrison. Don't mention him. Rebecca's voice grew more urgent. That useless waste, gone abroad 2 years, comes back causing trouble. Who does he think he is? Derek let out a contemptuous laugh. From now on, the money is mine, the company is ours, even his wife is now mine. Stop it. Rebecca whined coyly. The obscene words and sounds of flesh meeting flesh inside assaulted my ears. This was the woman who'd just made me soften. Fresh from the hospital examination, she'd rushed to be with her lover. Rebecca, you really couldn't wait. My last feelings completely died. The next morning, after a sleepless night, my eyes were bloodshot. Without hesitation, I called my lawyer. Charles, draft me a divorce agreement. After hanging up, I suddenly remembered my office still had many design blueprints. These were my life's work, I had to take them all. At the end of the corridor, the door to my former private office was ajar. A strong sense of unease washed over me. I pushed the door open forcefully. The office was ransacked, files scattered everywhere, drawers pulled open and empty. The trash bin was stuffed with shredded blueprints. All my years of hard work destroyed. Blood rushed to my head, temples pounding. Who did this? Several employees jumped, cowering at their desks with evasive eyes. Tell me, who the hell did this? I rushed to the nearest male employee. His face went pale, lips trembling. It was Mr. Derek. He was scared. Right after the launch yesterday. Mr. Derek brought people in saying these were useless waste paper, taking up space, told us to clear everything. Just then, a leisurely voice sounded from the office doorway. Well, if it isn't Director Harrison? What are you doing here so early, throwing a fit? What? Upset seeing your masterpiece in the trash? He walked to the trash bin full of paper shreds and kicked it, his face showing undisguised contempt. Just waste paper that should have been cleared long ago. Occupying space without producing anything, expecting others to worship you? He smiled at me. Ethan Harrison, wake up. This company has no place for you anymore. Thinking of last night's scene, I completely lost control. To hell with consequences. Fuck you. I used all my strength, clenched my fist and punched his face hard. Derek, caught off guard, screamed and staggered back, knocking over a chair and falling awkwardly. The entire office area went deathly silent. Everyone was stunned by this sudden violence. Security. Security. Grab him. Beat him to death. Urgent footsteps approached. 2 security guards rushed in. They clearly recognized Derek. Seeing his bloody state, they charged at me without hesitation. 2 fists can't fight 4 hands, especially against 2 trained men. My arm was roughly twisted behind my back, sharp pain shooting through. A kick to my knee sent me crashing to the ground. Just then, Rebecca's high heels clicked, urgently approaching. Seeing Derek on the ground, bloody and groaning in pain, she immediately knew what happened. Slap. A full-force slap landed on my face. Burning pain exploded instantly, ears ringing. Slap. Another backhand to the other cheek. That's for hitting Derek. For going crazy. Ungrateful bastard. Derek was helped up by employees, holding a bloody tissue to his nose. Seeing Rebecca slap me, satisfaction flashed in his eyes. Rebecca immediately went to support his arm, eyes red, voice trembling. Derek, does it hurt? Her heartbroken look was completely different from the shrew who'd just slapped me. Derek waved his hand, gasping as if too pained to speak. He slowly turned to me, his expression changing. Rebecca, don't be like this. His voice was muffled, seeming wronged. It's my fault, all my fault. I saw Director Harrison's office was a bit messy. I just wanted to clear some space for the company, thought those were unwanted drafts. He paused, looking at me with feigned sincerity. I really didn't know, those blueprints meant so much to Director Harrison. He paused, lowering his voice. Director Harrison, I'm sorry. I moved your things without asking clearly. I apologize. Please, don't take it to heart. Combined with his bloody face, he looked thoroughly wronged. Rebecca got even angrier hearing this. Derek, why are you apologizing? This lunatic threw the first punch. So what if we tore up some waste paper? Should we keep that trash space for him to hoard garbage? I don't know where I found the strength to break free from the 2 security guards and throw the divorce papers on the ground. Rebecca froze. She hadn't expected me to resign and then file for divorce. Are you insane? Without me, you'll have nothing. I laughed. Rather than watch you 2 dogs screwing in the office at midnight? She froze, probably wondering how I knew. I was done with them. I gathered my shredded blueprints and left this hellhole. Outside, I messaged my father abroad. Withdraw all investments from Rebecca's company. That afternoon, I stood at the airport. I had just 1 small suitcase with a few changes of clothes and the heavy shredded papers. The flight took over 10 hours, drowsy and endless. Until the plane landed at JFK, stepping onto American soil, taking a deep breath of the cold air, much of my anger dissipated. My parents had arranged everything. The car took me directly to an estate in the Hamptons. In the living room, 2 distinguished elderly people waited for me. They were true titans of international design, representing the industry's highest standards and unquestionable authority. Without unnecessary pleasantries, I carefully poured out the shredded papers. Then I connected my laptop to a USB drive containing inspiration sketches, material test reports, 3D model iterations, even screenshots of difficult late-night communications with international partners, scattered thoughts typed in hospital notes while getting IVs. Sir, madam. My voice was hoarse from exhaustion. This is everything. What they shredded was just the tip of the iceberg. The core data and complete creative chain are all here. Time passed minute by minute, the room filled only with the subtle sounds of turning pages and mouse clicks. Mr. Harrison, the elder spoke slowly. The evidence chain is complete and irrefutable. He glanced at Madame Isabella beside him. They nodded in agreement. We'll serve as special advisors to the International Design Competition Committee and ensure justice for you. I took a deep breath and bowed deeply, thank you. I threw myself into perfecting the design. Every shred of paper was scanned and digitized by a professional technical team, then carefully reconstructed. My father handled matters back home. In Rebecca's office, she curled in Derek's arms, holding 2 fresh marriage certificates. Derek. She complained coyly. Still a bit of a shame. That blockhead Ethan actually had some design genius. I wanted to keep him around longer, squeeze out more new ideas. Who knew he'd react so fast and flip the table? Derek laughed dismissively, blowing smoke. His tone was contemptuous. We've already absorbed most of his stuff. How much are the scraps worth? Good riddance. Now the company is ours. No one can interfere anymore. As for investors. He smiled. Horizon Ventures just invests money and looks at reports for dividends. Who cares if the blueprints are signed Ethan Harrison or Derek Mitchell? As long as the product launches on time and makes money, we'll spend some money quickly. There are plenty of talented, obedient designers outside. Just poach a few to fill appearances and keep the project going. Done. He grew more pleased, as if already seeing mountains of money before him. Rebecca was convinced, her smile returning. She kissed his jaw. You think of everything. From now on, nothing can block our family of 3. Just as their lips were about to meet, the office door burst open. The CFO rushed in, pale-faced, not even closing the door. Mr. Derek. Ms. Rebecca. Disaster. The CFO's voice trembled. Horizon Ventures just sent notice terminating all cooperation and withdrawing all investments. What? Derek's smile froze. Explain clearly. How is that possible? What's the reason? The CFO pursed his lips, glancing at Derek. Because Horizon Ventures chairman's last name is Harrison. Ethan Harrison Sr. Harrison Sr. Ethan Harrison. Harrison. Impossible. Ethan's father? The CFO sighed. Not just termination. We owe $800 million in breach penalties. The reason is we didn't inform them of changes in core design personnel and project leadership. Rebecca froze in place. The office fell deathly silent. Derek reacted first. Why panic? The patents are in our hands. Once we win the International Design Competition gold medal, won't investors beg to fund us? Then investors will kneel begging us to take their money. $800 million? I'll be picky about $8 billion. Rebecca pursed her lips. The huge unease in her heart didn't lessen but grew heavier. She felt things wouldn't be that simple, but seeing Derek's confident expression, she ultimately said nothing. Soon came the International Design Competition day. Derek and Rebecca flew to Paris with the boy. Paris, International Design Competition Awards Ceremony. The global design community's eyes focused here. Many American investors came seeking investment opportunities. Derek in his immaculate suit, hair perfectly styled, led the carefully dressed Rebecca. Tyler sat in the front row in his little tuxedo. Looking at the world-class designers and media around them, Derek was smug, as if the gold medal was already his. Their turn came to present their design. Derek took a deep breath and confidently walked to the podium. Spotlights on him, he spoke into the microphone, reciting his memorized speech. He spoke eloquently about the product's revolutionary design, breakthrough features, and vast market prospects. The PPT displayed beautiful renderings and some core structural diagrams. However, he quickly sensed something wrong. The core judges below, especially those 2 titans, looked at him not with appreciation or curiosity, but undisguised disdain. Derek's heart skipped a beat, his recitation faltering slightly. He forced himself to remain calm and continue. Derek finally finished to scattered polite applause. Sweat beaded on his forehead as he forced a smile and bowed off stage. The host then announced. Next, please welcome Mr. Ethan Harrison from Horizon Ventures with his work. Derek and Rebecca froze instantly. They looked up incredulously at the stage. I didn't even glance at them, walking straight to center stage. Distinguished judges, colleagues, my voice was clear. What I bring is the true origin of the previous contestant's product design. On the huge screen behind me, the PPT began. First appeared not finished products, but the original design manuscripts that were shredded then perfectly restored through technology. Each page clearly dated, far earlier than Derek's patent application. Next came original material test data reports, 3D model iteration process videos. I didn't spend much time introducing the product, focusing on the creative design process. After my presentation, the venue fell briefly silent, then erupted in thunderous applause. The judges below applauded continuously. Mr. Harrison from America, his gaze was full of admiration. From initial inspiration to final presentation, this isn't just outstanding product design, but a tribute to the design spirit. Without doubt, you are a deserving design genius. No, he's a fraud. He plagiarized our design. Derek couldn't hold back anymore. He jumped from his seat, pointing at me on stage and shouting hysterically. Judges, he's lying. He copied my work. I have patents. I have patent certification. His outburst drew scorn from the entire venue. Security immediately restrained the emotionally unstable Derek. The white-haired judge looked at Derek coldly. Plagiarism? Mr. Mitchell, are you accusing yourself? The judge paused. Since you claim this is your original design, then Mr. Mitchell, please now, in front of all design colleagues, explain in detail your initial design thinking for this core module. What was your inspiration source? Why did you make those material trade-offs? During the 3rd structural iteration, how did you solve potential problems? Please use your professional ability to prove your originality. Derek's face turned paper white, lips trembling, unable to say a word. He'd memorized the product introduction but never truly understood the logic behind those designs. The entire venue fell deathly silent, everyone watching this exposed plagiarist. Tyler was too scared to speak. Rebecca watched all this. She knew everything was over. Under countless contemptuous gazes, Derek was half dragged away from the venue center by security. Rebecca covered her face, slumped in her seat. Tyler cried loudly from fear. She didn't even have strength to comfort the child, just felt the world spinning. Everything was over. I stood under the spotlight as the two elders personally placed the trophy symbolizing highest honor in my hands. The venue erupted again in enthusiastic cheers and applause. Cameras focused on me. This moment's glory belonged only to the true creator. I bowed slightly, my gaze sweeping over the devastated Rebecca and wailing Tyler below, feeling no emotion. The justice that belonged to me, I took back with my own hands. News of the international design competition swept globally, naturally reaching home immediately. It completely nailed Derek and Rebecca to the pillar of shame. Plagiarism, stealing others' achievements, commercial fraud, accusations flooded in. Days later, when Derek and Rebecca returned with the traumatized Tyler. Just passing through customs, they were stopped by waiting police. Mr. Derek Mitchell, Ms. Rebecca Harrison. The lead officer showed credentials and arrest warrants. You're suspected of intellectual property infringement and commercial fraud. You're under arrest. Please cooperate. Cold handcuffs clicked onto Derek's wrists. His face went ashen, lips trembling as if trying to argue patents. We have patents. Rebecca seemed to lose her soul, tears flowing silently, not resisting the handcuffs. Daddy. Tyler saw his father arrested and screamed in terror, breaking free from a nearby ground staff member trying to comfort him. He actually bent down and picked up a broken brick from the ground. Bad people, let go of my daddy. He roared, recklessly charging at the nearest officer, using all his strength to throw the brick. Watch out. A nearby officer reacted quickly, pushing his colleague aside. The brick grazed the officer's shoulder, crashing to the ground. Several officers immediately subdued the still wildly kicking and struggling Tyler. Let me go, you bad guys, thieves. I'll kill you. Tyler was pinned face down, his young face pressed to the ground, but still spewing vicious curses, eyes filled with malice beyond his years. The lead officer looked at this thoroughly corrupted child, frowning with a flash of pity. This child assaulted an officer. Take him to the station, process him for juvenile detention according to procedure. After returning home, my father directly handed Horizon Ventures to me. 3 years later, Horizon Ventures firmly led the industry. I sat in the top floor office overlooking the Manhattan skyline. My assistant rushed in saying Rebecca was causing a scene downstairs, refusing to leave without seeing me. Hearing that name, I frowned slightly, a ripple in my heart quickly calming. Don't see her, I said flatly. The assistant hesitated, seeming to want to say something, but finally nodded and left. But Rebecca wouldn't give up. She caused such a scene downstairs, even threatening to stay forever if I didn't see her. Her behavior drew crowds. To avoid negative impact on the company, I finally had my assistant bring her to the meeting room. When Rebecca entered, I almost couldn't believe my eyes. The once vibrant woman now looked haggard, as if aged over a decade. Ethan, please help me. She immediately knelt upon. Seeing me, tears flowing. I know I was wrong. I really know. After Derek and I got out of prison, we have nothing. Everyone avoids us. We can't find work. We can barely survive. Tyler suffered a lot in juvenile detention. He's very rebellious now. I really don't know what to do. I looked at her without a trace of pity. Rebecca, when you treated me that way, did you think about today's consequences? I thought of that hospital night. I gave you chances, but you didn't cherish them. Now it's all too late. Ethan, I'm begging you. For the sake of our marriage. Please help us. She cried bitterly. I'll do anything, just forgive me, give us a chance to start over. Start over? I laughed coldly. Some things, once they happen, can never go back. I've moved on from the past. I hope you can too. You destroyed everything with your own hands. From the day you held another man's child and slandered me, we had nothing to do with each other. Don't disturb my life again. Assistant, show her out. If she causes more trouble, call the police. I turned and left without looking back. Later I heard videos of Rebecca crying outside the company went viral online. Netizens who knew the truth condemned her. By then I was leading my team developing the next international project. Some unbearable past events should stay dead in the past forever. The end.